Aloha, friends and neighbors. Rollin Frost here, Kona Astrologer. Hey, if you're like me and you've been a lifelong environmentalist, protecting species in the earth, and I knew about this matter of environmental disaster before you heard about gore and global warming. I've been working on this a long time, so I got really depressed. I believed all this stuff about a president being able to shift, you know, the total power and attention of a great nation over to the evil side. I was believing it. And then I came upon this on YouTube. I saw a little short one, just a few minutes, and then I saw this one a little longer. And Mr. Gore was bringing out a new video, a new movie, a sequel to his first one. And boy, it changed me. I found out, you know, that it isn't up to governments. No, it's up to people. And people have changed already. Yes, everybody's shutting down their coal plants all over the world for all the clean coal BS. And the way the world's going, as solar and wind gets cheaper, they're all going that way, regardless of what the big corporate interests of the U.S. government are, and the oil companies, and Monsanto, and Big Pharma, and all these corporate entities that have been ripping us off for 3 or 4 decades. They're going down because the people are going to have their say, and you know, what you buy and what you do with your life is the important thing, not what a president or a government or some elected official who was elected because of their nice smile. No, so anyway, go on YouTube, look up The Case for Optimism on Climate Change, watch it, and it'll pull you out of this dreadful, scary depression that we all seem to be in right now. 50% of all the species on Earth are going to die and become extinct by 2050. Oh, not if I got anything to say about it, and a lot of other people. Okay, we're going to do show 1064. Got a lot to share with you, a lot of stuff going on. Better get right after it. We're going to do the last week in April 2017, see what's coming up. Mercury's still retrograde until May 3rd. There's a new moon coming up Wednesday. That has the Mars trip in it for fires in Hawaii. Yeah. A lot of stuff going on. Pluto is stopping. There he is. Eek, he's got a gun, look out. He's an extremist. He's the bomber. You know who the biggest bombers in the world are? The USA government, DOD, Pentagon does more bombing than anybody. Yeah. Anyway, go watch Gore. Pluto stopping, what's it mean? What it means is that your reptile mind is going to be out and loose around 420. Crocodiles, oh, everywhere. Bugs, eek. So what happens is this peaks out on the 20th, and things bite. Yeah. Sharks bite, dogs bite, people bite, police shoot. You know, there's all kinds of extreme violence and stuff. Now, this peaks out here on the 20th of April, but it comes up, see, a little earlier, gets stronger and stronger, and peaks out then and then calms down. Like a normal distribution curve. So, we're looking at, you know, 10 days before 420, 10 days afterwards before it, you know, you stop seeing these, eek, a bug! There was a huge cockroach in the kitchen sink this morning. I couldn't believe it was so big and so ugly. Ugh. Anyway, 420, eek, a bug. I invented that a long time ago because that's when your reptile mind, your brainstem little bulb, goes eek, and you go into this little panic, for just a little bit. It's startling panic. It's like you look in your rearview mirror, there's a policeman there, eek, a bug. It's that kind of stuff. So you'll feel it, everybody does, even if it's just a small bug. And it peaks out on 420. Oh, by the way, you caught some of this on the 17th, night of the 17th, morning of the 18th of April. You'll get some more on Monday night, the 24th, some more on Sunday night, the 30th, and a final Ika bug, which should be a little less, on May 7th. That's your Pluto schedule, okay? Other things going on. Venus is squaring Saturn. Yes, Sunday, coming right up for you on the 23rd. So there's not a lot of sweets and love and sex around, and keep your little daughters home. This is dangerous for Venus. It is. On the good news side, Mercury here, which is going backwards slowly, goes by Uranus. And what you get is a higher consciousness. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Neptune enlightens through Venus, love, and touchy-feely and all that kind of stuff of the heart. Uranus enlightens through the mind, and it's Mercury stuff, words, astrology, common sense, think things through. So when Mercury goes by Uranus, there's kind of a zap of common sense and enlightenment from Uranus. And that thing occurs here. There's another little curve on it, see? Hits on the 28th. Well, you'll feel it on the 24th. Peaks out on the 28th. You'll still feel a little bit on May 2nd. So this is a really neat thing. It's late the 27th, early the morning of the 28th when it goes by. Common sense speaks. Yes. Usually people talk about UFOs and stuff. Hey, you want to find out the truth about the UFO thing? Go to skymirrorastrology.com/TV. That's my website. And push the blog button. And there's the whole thing on the rundown on why they came or what they did. Now, let's go around this thing and see how it looks day by day. There, I redlined this because to remind myself that the last full moon at 20 Libra, opposed Jupiter and squared Pluto and opposed Uranus and set off the famous T-square. So you had a full moon setting off this tension and this panic. And that's going to make, the Pluto station all the more potent. And so you're in a panicky month until the next full moon takes you out of it. That full moon is May 10th. And long ago I marked my ephemeris, this part of April, that part of May, because of this full moon. So you're in a tense spot. Yeah. And it's not just you. We all are, huh? That full moon May 10th, is good for Pluto. So this guy won't panic anymore. There'll be power and control issues to settle after May 10th. Now, how about your life, huh? And all of us on this ball of Earth, how's it going to be day by day? Well, I'm going to run the moon around the edge of the planetary pattern, take a look at it. A Thursday night, not too bad. You get a sextile to Uranus and Mercury, and some of that zapping of common sense is happening Thursday night the 20th, Friday morning the 21st. There is a little anger here from the moon squaring Mars. That happens between breakfast and lunch on Friday the 21st. And then about lunchtime the moon goes by the south node, and we all feel like we need help. Yes. Now, even though we're all angry here, there is a sextile to the sun, so we're getting a plan together on Friday. Ask yourself what you're protecting. Saturday on the 22nd, the moon's still in Pisces. This is all Pisces here. Hits Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, in the afternoon and around the middle of the day. And you know, your higher heart could come out. You could regain some faith in things. Yes. People are really essentially good, you know. Just they go along a little too easy sometimes. Well, the little fishes get in a big flock and follow the preacher. Uh-oh, look out. Saturday night, well, here's 9-10 o'clock. Nice sextile to Pluto. I got discovery going. Well, I was looking at crop circles the other day. Fascinating stuff going on there. I think essentially, you know, after the UFO guys came in and sampled our DNA, the stuff that's left is by and large maybe time travelers, people that, you know, entities that don't have physicality. I don't know. I'm kind of dismissive of a lot of it, but the crop circles are certainly real. The complexity and worth attention. Nobody pays any attention to them. What's wrong? Moon's still in Pisces as you go into Sunday. You're in the Venus zone through the middle of the day, and there could be some sweets and some sex. And here's Mars is in sextile, romantic. If Venus hasn't fallen into the trap of squaring Saturn and the judge and the rules and regulations and the depression hasn't got her, well, Mars, the hero, is there to help Venus. Your Romeo is right there for you. Tap him. Romeo comes up real strong in the afternoon of Sunday, the 23rd of April, with a sextile to Mars. Now, once you're past the romantic stuff on Sunday, the moon's in Aries. And as you go into Monday, it's going to hit that T-square. Monday afternoon, it opposes Jupiter. And what are those rich people doing, and those lawyers? And then it hits the square to Pluto, and there's eek, a bug, panicky, anxiety, extremism. Yeah. And so this is a difficult Monday night. Tuesday morning, you could get some zap here of common sense from Mercury, and things could settle out a little bit about noontime when the moon trines Saturn. Let's hope so. By the way, as Mercury goes backwards over Uranus, lots of times high winds knock down the power lines. I was amazed that yesterday was Sunday and there was no Sunday newspaper. So here's more interruptions of the media and possible sudden wind trips going on that could startle folks a little bit. Monday night, Tuesday. Should mellow out a little bit as the moon goes into Taurus. That's Tuesday afternoon, the 25th. And part of the new moon is early Wednesday morning. And that be with somebody you love, make some good solid plans. This is a Taurus new moon, and so it's very earthy and practical. Go slow. There's inspiration Wednesday afternoon with the moon sextiles Neptune, and discovery is strong about 10-11 o'clock when the moon trines Pluto. Now Pluto is still very active. He just stopped on 20th, and here we are on the 26th. So this is a good time to pay attention to new discoveries, new information. You know, that's what changes everybody. Moon continues in Taurus till Thursday afternoon, and on Thursday the 27th, you're going into the Mars zone Thursday night. Here it is right here after dinner. And Venus is in sextile, so Thursday could be quite romantic. There could be some sweets here. Romeo and Juliet are going to be out there holding hands all over the place Thursday afternoon and evening. Could be a pretty nice time for the young folks. On Friday the 28th, the moon shifts into Gemini, becomes a little more scattered. Well, the moon was in Gemini when it hit Mars, and Mars is, Romeo is jumping all around, and You know, I'm not sure he's very steady. Venus might like him more steady. She's in Pisces. But on Friday, the moon goes by the trine to Jupiter. There's some wisdom here. What is that anyway? But it squares Neptune. There's lies, there's deceit. It's all foggy. Can we trust that lawyer? I don't know. I would question quite a lot on Friday the 28th. Saturday, the moon's still in Gemini, at least until you get to after lunch, halfway to dinner. Now, there's a sextile to Uranus and to Mercury in the morning of Saturday. Goes right through lunch, and there's lots of higher common sense and zap, 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 new information. Take it, grab it fast, because here is the opposition to Saturn. It's just about noontime, and that slows things down a lot. The moon squares Venus Saturday night. Not a good time for a date or for some pleasure-seeking activity. So, sorry. Moon shifts into Cancer. It gets a little better on Sunday. There's middle of the day Sunday. It's a sextile to the sun. We feel like we're getting stuff done. There's a trine to Neptune. Good day for church and music and higher heart activities. But look out, here's the T-square. Comes on to you in the early afternoon and dinner time with the square to Jupiter. What did those rich guys say? What do those lawyers say? Eek, a panic. Panicky happens here, 9, 10, 11 o'clock Sunday night. There could be sirens. People are having trouble. And here's the finish of it is not till Monday before lunch with the square to Uranus when they feel insecure and alone. So here's your T-square again. Remember, we got a month of this whole tension and problems being amplified until you get to the next new moon. So it was terrible Mondays. It's getting itself back into Sunday. Probably next week it'll be Sundays and going back into Saturdays. That's the way it is right now. All right, for those of you that weren't around, note on Pluto. I was there when Ronald Reagan decided not to disarm the world of nuclears, but to put money into Star Wars trips. Horrible, horrible Ronald Reagan, a real demon. What happened next is he put money into Lawrence Radiation Lab. I knew some people working there. In a few years, they came up with all kinds of crazy New Age weapons. One I remember had to do with these little plasma donuts that shoot out of a gun at high speed, and wreck things miles off. And the lasers, oh boy, lots of laser weapons came up. One of the best was a chemical laser that could shoot, halfway around the world. But it took so much energy, and you had to get it up high, so they'd fill a big old 747 with two chemicals. One chemical mix the other chemical, produce tons of energy, bang. They would get 7 shots, as I recall, from this plane before all the chemical energy was used up. Reagan's folly. None of that stuff was really very practical. But we spent all the money on it because of a presidential whim. Instead of going along and getting rid of all the nukes, Gorbachev was happy to get rid of the nukes. The Russians don't want nukes around. North Korea doesn't want nukes. Nobody wants nukes. What is this craziness? It's like the guns in certain parts of the U.S. Nobody wants all these guns. What is all this craziness? All right, if you haven't got this on your devices, here it is, skymirrorastrology.com/TV. Get you to my website. And all these shows that you might have missed or you got interrupted with or anything like that. And some new stuff. So skymirrorastrology.com/TV gets you the TV episodes, okay? Put it on your computer, put it on your iPhones, everything else. Now, there's a lot of neat stuff on here. There's me, a little younger. See the turtle looking up at the planets? My Amakua. Honu is the only animal that periodically raises his head up and looks at the sky mirror. It is a mirror, you know. Here's a little bit about getting some personal work done. Look at that, 65 bucks. You can get a cheapo. Covers the next 2 years, answers your questions. The best astrology you can get on a DVD sent to your address. So, I need work. I'm not surviving very well here. No, Jupiter against Uranus is tightening up on chart work. And all over here, here's a little thing on how to get, you know, the Sky Mirror astrology app on your iPhone or your iPad. Tap a button, bang, you're in the, you know, you got a chart of now. No better way to learn. Now, see over here? This is a new thing. It says blog. We just got this up and running. Now, if you leave it alone and just scroll down, what's this? Here's the show for March 31st. Yes, and below that, March 24th. And below, so here's all the astrology shows. At your fingertips. They go back 6-7 shows. Kind of neat. Now, if you go back up here, and you go over here to blog, their chart work explains more about what you get by my services. Blog is where I've started storing some really neat things that, you know, people keep asking me about, but it's I don't want to keep repeating myself. So here's some blogs. This one is about UFOs and aliens. And there it is. You press that button, bang. You get, here's the next one is, this is about mistaken identity. And the raven and the goose. And that's it. These are videos that I've done and want to share with you. Okay, that's what that is. Then here's a bit on Donald Trump. Here's a work I did on the incinerator about burning trash. Hope you don't need that in the future. But it's important because so many people were ignorant of what happens when you burn trash. And you can't see the little things that come around there and give your kids asthma and mess you up. Here is a wonderful little thing I did on Konani. I spent 5 years of my life working for Hawaiians to find this game. And we put it out there. Yes, we did. Here's the thing on hurricane prediction. So you get the idea. These blogs are there for your entertainment. And so that you can tell friends, oh yeah, go right over there. And you can get this stuff. So kind of happy that I got blogs, huh? Yeah, blog may not be the right word. I don't know. And if you click on the chart work thing, here's a whole bunch of stuff on what you need, how to go about doing it, what you're going to get, what I need, what the rates are, you know, Jeep, Chevys, Cadillacs, and then some stuff on what I do, what it's like, the different things I go into. So here down here at the bottom is an offer, free of charge. If you've got your birth data, the exact time of your birth or your first breath, and you don't know your rising sign, well, call me, because I'll do it free. Now don't go calling me in the middle of my siesta, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I won't answer. One word, skymirrorastrology.com/TV gets the shows and my website. And I want you to get used to watching the show on the internet, because cable TV and these public access stations are full of politics and people and things that aren't trustworthy. And you can watch these anytime now, you know. You don't got to wait for schedules on anybody. I mean, Honu doesn't wait. He just sticks his head up out of the water and checks out where the planets are. If you've got an iPhone or any Apple product, go to this website, get the $10 app so you can be like Honu and check out where the planets are right now, this instant in your location, even at your elevation. This is the best astrology app in the world. You'll just naturally train yourself in astrology or whatever you're interested in. It happens naturally once you got the tool in your hand. We're just going to put the tool in your hand. It's up to you what you study. Okay? $10. Go to the website, skymirrorastrology.com. Well, as usual, I burnt up all my time. But what I had up next was I was going to do a little work on these two guys. And as I only have 2 minutes left, let me just point out to you that Donald Trump has the sun in Gemini. You know, yes, conjunct the North Node and Uranus. He should be a rebel. I guess he is. Should be an environmentalist. Why isn't he? But the sun's in Gemini. Now, if you look at Mike Pence, in Mike Pence's chart, the sun's in Gemini. What's going on here? There's two Geminis in charge of the executive branch of our... You know, when you're out in nature, if you go swim in Hawaii, you'll see these two little yellow birds, and they're always swimming around together. And actually what they're doing is pretending to be the eyeballs of a very large animal, and they usually have an eye spot, and they stay like this, so that when you see them from a distance, you see these big two eyes. Oh boy, it's a monster. Anyway, two little yellow fish, so those are Geminis. Gemini's got these two sides, a quiet one and a loud one, and one of the little fish leads and the other one follows really close. You'll notice the birds also do a similar thing. Whenever you see a little yellow bird, there's two. There's the active one and the inactive one, Mercury. Mercury is Gemini. And so just like two little birds, two little yellow birds and two little yellow fish is what these two are like. And you know that Mike Pence is the quiet one that follows right now. But these are both Geminis. Yes. Not exactly, well, I'll leave that for you to soak up for a while, because it takes a little understanding. Ben Franklin said in 1751, "You guys don't pay attention to astrology." He said, "Shame to the age we live in." And I say the same thing in a way.